Okay, with this energy that I'm picking up on right now, this is somebody that has kind of left you wondering what went wrong, what happened between the two of us. This could be somebody who is older, somebody who's been out of the dating scene for a while and is kind of like, I grew up understanding dating, romance, connections is one thing. The modern world has happened, everything has changed. They have tried to like apply strategy that is sort of promoted in these times as far as like how you approach people, the idea of like talking stages, maybe even things where this person is not really great with like texting or DMing on social media like they're trying, but that is just something that is not part of their core programming. It is not part of kind of like how they had found love and romance in the past, how connections have blossomed between themselves and other people. And so, as you have encountered them at this point in their life with this energy of, I expected you to chase me, and instead you respected me, and that confused me. This is almost something that this person feels that the potential between the two of you sort of harkens back to what they, at their default programming, their core programming, how they were raised, the way the world was when they were younger or when they were like first entering into the dating scene, like way back when, decades ago even, that the position they may have taken was to be that person that was the pursuer, the chaser, the romancer, the one that was gonna like wine and dine or make a lot of efforts. But in modern times, they've almost tried to sort of take this stance, or they've been told that it's like, no, you have to be passive. So this is like, heterosexual connection, like man and woman. This could be something where this person is like, no, modern women, they want to chase, they want to go after what they want. I don't want to be too pushy, I don't want to be too aggressive. But this doesn't like fit well with sort of who they are as a person, what is most comfortable with them. They wanted to be in that position of somebody that's like, yeah, I see something and I go after it. I'm going to put in that effort. I'm the man. So I'm the one that is going to let the woman know, hey, I like you. This is what I want. I'm going to lead the connection forward. But they tried in the circumstance with you to kind of just assume what it is that like you might want, what people kind of nowadays have sort of flipped the script on dating. Again, maybe like texting is not sort of this person's strong suit, talking stages, DMing on social media, all of this is like new to this person. It's very outside of their comfort zone. So they tried to almost do what everyone else is doing or what they've been told, like, no, this is just how people, this is how people date nowadays. This is how people get to know people nowadays. And it didn't work with you. It didn't go very well because there's almost a sense of maybe you were looking for some of that old-fashioned connection. Maybe you were in a position, whether you were a man or a woman, of you were having to pursue a lot of people. You were sort of forced into that modern dating approach, and that has not worked for you. You're in a point in your life where you're like, I want someone to put in the effort for me. I want somebody to wine and dine me. I want someone to choose me, to make me feel celebrated. And you may have not really had very much success or luck finding people that are like willing to do that for whatever it is that you're attracted to, whatever it is that you're trying to call in. So it's almost like you and this person, you have the perfect mindset, the perfect ideas, the perfect desires that would fit very nicely to fulfill both of your needs. But the approach that was taken in this situation, it's almost something that was kind of like artificial. It was something that didn't really kind of fit where you both are at this point in your lives and sort of what would bring the most fulfillment. And this person is starting to understand, which it feels like is creating sort of a motivation within them to adjust their approach to you, to try again, to try and course correct in the situation, that you are someone that would respond very well to what comes most naturally to them, how dating was like when they were last successful in the dating scene, something that goes back to their core programming, the way that they were raised, the way the world was when they were last in the dating scene. This could be somebody that came out of a long-term relationship, they came out of a marriage, and it's like the world is very different. The dating pool is very different. This may be something where, just for who they are as a person, modern dating and all of that, it doesn't really fit. It doesn't really work well for them. It doesn't really match up with kind of the ways in which they are comfortable communicating, ways in which they are comfortable relating to other people. And so this feels like something that it's almost like there was a false start between the two of you, or something where there was like an attempt to connect on a level that didn't have success, because there's something that is more authentic, something that is different from what other people are doing, what the masses are doing, what the mainstream is doing, what, kind of all the info about these are the strategies. This is what modern dating is all about. It's like the two of you have the potential to throw that rule book out the window and go back to something that is very instinctual, that is very natural, that would be considered very divergent because it would be very traditional. And so this person is definitely starting to kind of like think about that, like, okay, wait a minute. I didn't take this passive stance and you didn't just, come and sort of snatch me up or claim me, but I can tell that there's potential and chemistry between the two of us. I can tell that we had a spark. I can tell that we had something going on, but there's obviously a different approach that needs to be taken. What's that different approach? Maybe what I was raised to kind of believe as far as romance and dating. Maybe what comes most naturally to me. What most people nowadays are not celebrating or not promoting as kind of the way to go about entering into connections. But maybe that's the thing that in the past led to success. That's what I'm good at. That's how I know how to do things. That's what feels right for me. So it feels like this is somebody that is planning to kind of like reapproach you again, almost going back to basics, going back to what they remember, what feels right, what feels natural, and then employing those kind of modern tools like texting or DMing on social media just as a supplement to kind of a different stance that they will take to you, not sort of the primary means and method of having connection, or the sense of almost the roles of kind of showing up, like action and receptivity, not adhering to what is kind of pumped out there, promoted out there as kind of, what women want, what men should do, what like modern connections look like. This is something that goes back to basics, and it feels like the idea of that is very satisfying to this person, and may also be something that will be very well received by you. It could be that missing link, that missing ingredient for what the two of you at this stage in both of your lives really need, really are seeking, have a hard time finding in other people who have been jaded by modern experiences, or have, really kind of bought into that idea of like, oh, well, we got to switch things up. This is just how everybody does things nowadays. This is how young people do things nowadays. So therefore, older generations, well, you just got to do it too. And so this feels like something where the two of you have the opportunity to do something very different, something that feels right, something that, what works. You know how to like go back to the start, go back to basics and build in that direction. You also have your voice soothes me. So this person definitely wants to talk to you. They want to have conversations. This again, maybe somebody that's like, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time texting. I want to get together with you. I want to look you in the eye. I want to have coffee with you. I want to have lunch with you. I want to have dinner with you. I want to go sit somewhere with you and have exchanges. I want to verbalize my feelings. I want to just like hear what's on your mind. I want to share little bits about my day. I want to hold hands. I want to go for a walk. I want to go for a drive. I want to go park somewhere and make out with you. I am not interested in us kind of like sharing our pictures back and forth and, having things be sort of like lost in translation, lost in communication in the words that we text. Maybe this is somebody that's really good in like face-to-face conversations, but as far as texting is concerned, it's crisp, it's right to the point. It may almost feel or appear very dry, very basic, because that's not the strong suit as far as their communication is concerned. This is a person that's really good face to face with people. They are not so good as far as technology is concerned. And regardless of age, like not everybody, just because we live in sort of the virtual age, not everybody is like a skilled texter. Not everyone's going to be like a Casanova that's going to say the right things, and sometimes it's going to come across as sort of, they got their foot in their mouth. They may sound manipulative. It may be something that is like, hey, is this person like love bombing or they're breadcrumbing? What's going on there? Just because they're not good with the written word. They're not good with sort of like conveying meaning through text, even if they're using, some kind of like chat assistant, some sort of AI, some sort of like, help me type this up because I don't know how to speak for myself. Even people that are using things like that, there are individuals that it's like that just is not a true reflection of their ability to communicate on an interpersonal level. And if you're resonating with this, it feels like you're dealing with one of those people. It's like, I'm much better in person than I am virtually, but it's getting through that experience of sort of like the push to connect just that way, to connect very remotely with other people, that's sort of what they thought was necessary in the situation. That was like, okay, I guess this is how everyone else does it. I'm interested in you, so our relationship is gonna take off or develop, or something's gonna happen in that kind of virtual sphere. Or, I'm just gonna stand here and you're gonna take that empowered approach and chase me. Only that's not what you've been looking for. That's not what satisfies you. And so this is something where this person is almost, again, like wanting to throw that whole rule book out the window and like, you know what, let's do something really crazy. Let's just get together for coffee and get to know one another that way. Shocker, like, let's get together and actually go to a movie, go out on a date, go have some sort of face-to-face interaction instead of sitting and like clicking our thumbs on our phones all day back and forth, and have that be the start, the development, the building of something between the two of us. This is somebody that wants to kind of go beyond that, but start from square one, start from scratch with you, and kind of do things the old-fashioned way. Let a connection develop very organically between the two of you, with that kind of potency, with that chemistry, with that eye-to-eye experience with one another in the flesh. When I think about the future, you are always there with me. So this person definitely wants to try and scoop this situation up and correct things. This is somebody that is like hoping that you will not judge them based on the fact that they totally like crashed and burned as far as their first approach with you is concerned. This is somebody that fumbled this situation, but it's not because they were uncertain. It's not because they had other options. It was not because they were trying to just play mind games with you. This is somebody that tried an approach that it feels like felt very unnatural to them, but it's kind of like people around them are like, this is just how you do it. This is just how you go about dating. They might have seen other people that came out of long-term relationships, came out of marriages, and were able to kind of like just adapt to sort of that modern dating pool, get into those talking stages, get into those situationships, build a whole quote connection with somebody virtually that they never really met in person, or like long-term, time went by before there was the ability to like connect in person. And that worked for other people, but it doesn't work for this individual. It feels like it doesn't work for you. Like maybe that's been sort of satisfactory in other circumstances, but it feels like the potential between you and this person, it's going to work a lot more if you're having that kind of face-to-face experience with one another. And so this is somebody that is hopeful that you will be receptive to them kind of just dropping the act, dropping the mask, dropping this kind of unnatural stance of like, I'm just going to wait here and you're going to do all this heavy lifting. I'm just going to kind of give the best that I can as far as communication, like via text or via DM is concerned, that maybe just very dry, maybe even someone that's like an over talker, like they're sharing too much, they're sending paragraphs, and it's like, no, the way we do things is just, it's very crisp, it's very clean, it's very yes, no, there's no depth to it. Whatever that looks like it didn't hit between the two of you in the right way, because it wasn't the right venue in which that was supposed to happen. But this person has not given up hope that there is the ability to have another chance with you, to kind of build beyond the experience that has happened by taking the approach that feels most natural, something that is back to basics, something that honors that core programming, something that is kind of like, yeah, maybe this is, the last opportunity for the two of us to have that good old-fashioned love. Maybe this is the opportunity for us to do something, that is totally outside of the box, that is totally non-conformist, which is we get together the old-fashioned way. We go out, we build our relationship through getting to know one another. Maybe we talk on the phone, we send a few little texts back and forth throughout the day, but that is not the core basis of like how we are building connection, how we are getting to know one another, how we are letting this sort of recipe between the two of us simmer into something very satisfying, very beautiful, very fulfilling for the two of us. So, those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.